Time asks if you are ready. Now that you've cut the moorings to the past, you realize that casting off from the shores of time is unexpectedly pleasant. It's time to shine, and time for time to finish its business of presenting marker after marker for you to scramble through on your quest for meaningful existence. Behind the mechanism is a logic and a light source. Tune into that, take it in your hands, feel it in your bones, and be ready to present yourself to what time has to reveal. The light in your heart is evident. It's about time that you've come into acceptance of that fact. Even if the crown on your head feels a little bit too big, you realize that you're growing into a new kind of sovereignty. It suits you. As you leave behind that which has so far defined you, you still have that special something, that spark of divine enthusiasm, a drop of nectar in your soul. It's part of who you are. Now, you've done the business of farewells and letting go of the moorings of the past. This time you really mean it in ways that somewhat surprise you. Some of those things that you didn't think you could continue without are gone like bubbles in the breeze. Do you miss them? Not yet. You're still finding your footing. Will you regret letting go of those staunch and steadfast underpinnings of how you face the world? After all, dealing with reality is a lot more complex lately, a lot more than when you were young and impressionable. If you're still young and impressionable, remember that curating the soul is a job that takes lifetimes and extra dimensions to get right. Remember, too, that there are no mistakes, only lessons, experiences. You've done well. If you reflect on anything right now, let it be what your heart shows you of your soul. Mesmerizing, isn't it? Drink it in. Marking time, cycles, seasons, and milestones can certainly help ease the massive undertaking of living a life worthy of your origins. After all, it isn't every day that so many momentous occurrences take place. One thing after another signals to you that it's time to pay attention. Take note of where you are in your sacred journey of the soul. At some point, however, doesn't it become a bit monotonous? Ticking off the markers might lose its meaning soon. Oh well, you might think there's really not much you can do. Hang on by your fingernails to a construct of time, or trust that behind it all is something majestic and wonderful and very logical to take its place. Either way, it's okay. Everything you do now is especially poignant, even making decisions. And as you're marking a tick-tock, you can change those decisions at a moment's notice, even in an instant. Some things you can count on for sure, but as time nears a point of inevitability, all bets are off. In such a case, your best bets are to honor the guardians of life, the sanctity of being alive, the nobility of your soul, and the constant presence of higher orders of life. Divinity is everywhere present, glowing through the spokes of the wheel as it turns ever closer to the fated unlocking of time's secrets. Balance yourself, and dare to gaze into the eyes of destiny. Does it look familiar? You're the one behind the wheel. Suddenly, you might find yourself at the edge of completion and the precipice of not yet evident beginnings. Something is stirring in the underground. Old news to you, yet more revelations are set to be unveiled. You'll be ready for it. You've already steeled yourself. Your nerves have found a source of nourishment lately, and you're well on your way to exhibiting the strength you feel beginning to radiate from deep in your bones. If you doubt it, direct your awareness to sink into your marrow. What has been ossified and rigid is finding a kind of malleability now. Relax and know this is completely normal and what you should be feeling if you're going to be growing. And growing is exactly what you're about to do, in exactly the way you've been preparing for. For all the landscape that seems out of place now, when the time comes for you to present what you've made of yourself, you'll be less aware of the oddness of your surroundings and more in tune with the support that life's ever-sustaining promise holds for you. In short, you're about to become center stage. It's not by accident, but by hard work that you arrive. Bear the gift that you have made of yourself with composure and full presence. Poised and aligned heart with hands, you've a moment to take a breath. Take in what presents itself to you, and be your glorious self. This week's contemplation from the pages of Opalescence. You are the decider of the future of the past. You are the only one from your bloodline who makes nothing about the past or future become known without a fortune-telling act from the present. What may appear to be satisfied as your divine number of life path, your lucky star, or your moon sign is really only a device for nature to frame your days as you move through time. Thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed these messages from Nine's Path, please consider buying me a coffee to support the site and its work. You'll find a link in the description. You'll also find a link to ninespath.com where you can find more transmissions, books from the League of Light, and so much more. I'll meet you there. Until next time, have a great week.